Are you planning on moving to the Seattle area? Well, let me tell you all about the pros and cons of living in this area so that you can have a clear picture before making some serious plans of relocating to the beautiful Pacific Northwest. Hi, my name is Darius Cincys and I'm your Greater Seattle Realtor Friend. In this video, I'll outline the pros and the cons of residing in the Seattle area. So be sure to watch the whole video till the end, and I'll also be sharing a bonus tip that could really greatly benefit you if you're thinking about moving to this region. So let's get started. Seattle, known as the Emerald City, has lots of great things that make people want to move here. One big reason is because of how innovative this region is. Innovation is everywhere in Seattle, which is why this West Coast seaport city has a thriving economy. Big companies like Amazon, Microsoft have their headquarters and call Seattle home. And many other Silicon Valley companies like Google, Meta, and many others have a significant presence here. And there are also lots of startup companies. So the technology sector here is very strong. And if you're interested in working with computers or software or new tech, Seattle is the place to be. There are many high-paying job opportunities in this region, and it's a very big driver of people moving here. With that said, let's talk about the first con of living in Seattle and its surrounding areas, which could be the high cost of living. While the city boasts a thriving job market and an abundance of opportunities across various industries, this prosperity comes at a hefty price tag. Seattle's dynamic job market attracts professionals from diverse backgrounds, offering an array of employment opportunities in tech, healthcare, aerospace, and many other sectors. However, the demand for housing, goods, services leads to increased costs. According to rentcafe.com, the average cost of living in Seattle is 28% higher than the state average and 49% higher than the national average, which is primarily driven by steep prices of housing, transportation, and everyday necessities as of January 2024. The cost of living in a certain city takes into account both the price of rent and the price of a home. In approximation, the average rent in Seattle is almost $2,500 a month, while home prices circle around $950,000. Energy bills are around $200 a month, and the median household income in Seattle is around $105,000. And there are many neighborhoods and pockets where it is significantly higher than that. Now, moving on to the next pro of living in the Emerald City is that Seattle is a nature lover's paradise. It's named the Emerald City for a reason. The whole region here is surrounded by forests, mountains, and water. And Seattle has many public parks, multiple lakes, and a waterfront along the Puget Sound. And on top of it all, it has 3 major national parks, all within 2.5-hour drive of the city. The North Cascades National Park is the largest of the 3, and it's a place to go for waterfall hikes or boat trips. Then we have Mount Rainier National Park, which is one of the nation's oldest and has a visitor area called the Paradise, which provides epic views. And then the Olympic National Park is another great option to explore for those that love the outdoors. For those of you who are less keen to have to leave town to get your fix of the outdoors, there are plenty of hiking trails to be found within the city limits. The Puget Sound hosts a population of gray and humpback whales, as well as dolphins, seals, and sea lions, all of which are on the menu for the orcas up here. So with wilderness and wildlife to be found so close to the city, Seattle blends brilliantly the urban escapes with the lure of the great outdoors. One major drawback of living in the Seattle city is that it can make you sad. And SAD stands for Seasonal Affective Disorder, which is a real thing. Living in Seattle can be challenging during those long, dark winters, which can be contributed to the seasonal affective disorder for many residents. The lack of sunlight during the time can affect mental health and overall well-being, leading to symptoms such as low energy, moodiness, and a general feeling of sadness. And this can be particularly difficult for those who are sensitive to light changes, and the prevalence of the SAD in Seattle is a concern for many residents. With that said, my personal opinion is that the dark and the gloomy seasons can be managed, and the gorgeous spring and summer months make up for it. I keep telling people that even though we get less sunny weather than other parts, those of us that live here appreciate it more. And sometimes just taking some vitamin D and maybe planning a few trips somewhere sunny during the fall and the winter months is enough to keep the depression away. Another major advantage of living in the Seattle area, especially if you have a family and are planning to move here, is that there are great schools here in Seattle, both public and private. The Seattle Public Schools is the largest school district in Washington State, and it serves over 54,000 students in 103 schools. The district is known for high quality of education and a commitment to equality and diversity. In addition to the public schools, Seattle is home to a number of top-ranked private schools, such as University Prep, Lakeside School, Seattle Academy of Arts and Sciences. And if we look in the outside limits of the Seattle area alone, surrounding suburban cities such as Bellevue, Issaquah, Sammamish, Bothell, Kirkland, and many others also offer excellent options for families with children. Seattle is also home to a number of world-renowned universities, such as University of Washington, Seattle University, and the Seattle Pacific University. All of these institutions provide a wide range of educational opportunities from undergraduate degrees to advanced research and professional programs. The city's residents place a high value on education and are actively involved in supporting their local schools and universities. If I were to discuss another con of living in Seattle, that would probably be the high crime rate. The high crime in Seattle and its surrounding areas is significant concerns for many residents. And according to Seattle Police Department's 2023 crime report, the city's violent crime rate reached a 15-year high, with an increase of 736 incidents per 100,000 residents, which is highest in years. That report also revealed that gun violence hit an all-time high. The increase in crime overall reflects the spike in violent crime that began in 2020 and shows little sign of dropping back. The city's high crime rate has been attributed to various factors, including homelessness crisis, which has been contributing to the public safety concerns. Seattle Police Department's Public Safety Survey identified property crimes, police capacity, and homelessness as top concerns for the community. The city has also seen a significant increase in homelessness in recent years, which has been linked to a rise in crimes as well. So, the high crime rate and its impact on public safety are an important consideration for those living or considering a move to Seattle. But all of those scary stats are mainly from the city of Seattle alone. Unfortunately, Seattle faces many of the similar issues like other major cities across the country. But crime in surrounding areas and the suburban neighborhood is actually not that big of a concern for people that live there. And for that reason, among many others, many prefer to live in the outskirts of Seattle, specifically in Bellevue or Kirkland, Redmond, Woodinville, Sammamish, and so on. So given that Seattle is a major metropolitan area, crime is something to consider, but can also be avoided if you look at specific areas. Moving on to the next pro of living in the Seattle area is the beautiful neighborhoods. Seattle is known for its unique neighborhoods, each with its own distinct personality. Many of these neighborhoods are designed to be pedestrian friendly with sidewalks, bike lanes, and easy access to public transportation. This means that you can easily explore the city on foot, discovering little gems like local cafes, boutiques, and galleries along the way. Many of Seattle's neighborhoods are located near parks and green spaces, including popular destinations like Discovery Park and Green Lake. Some of the coolest neighborhoods in Seattle include Capitol Hill, Columbia City, Georgetown, and Queen Anne. Capitol Hill is known for its LGBTQ+ friendly bars, restaurants, and thrift shops, while Columbia City is a quaint downtown area full of great restaurants, bars, and shops. Georgetown is a tiny neighborhood full of art galleries, vintage shops, bookshops, public art installations, and murals. Queen Anne is more quiet and family-friendly, with higher concentrations of incredible, quaint, but expensive homes. Most of these neighborhoods and homes within the city limits have lots of charm and history. And going a bit farther out in the surrounding areas and other nearby cities, those usually offer more newer homes or popular places for families. And we'll do many of these other videos of cities surrounding Seattle and feature those specific neighborhoods then, so be sure to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of these videos. Another disturbing drawback of living in Seattle area is the terrible traffic and public transportation. So if you've experienced a Seattle rush hour or attempted to leave the city for a weekend getaway, you likely encountered notorious traffic. While not as extreme as cities such as LA or DC, Seattle's congestion is a significant drawback for residents. The city's infrastructure hasn't kept pace with its growing population, and with interstates typically limited to 3 to 4 lanes, including a carpool lane, that's often slowed down by city buses. Public transportation, while it's improving with an expansion of the light rail system, it still struggles to offer a comprehensive connectivity for the residents. While we have ferries that are a popular and efficient mode of transportation, the bus system is often subject to delays, making commuting challenging for some residents. Now here's the bonus tip that I promised at the start of the video: Seattle's amazing food culture. Any diehard foodie can vouch that restaurants in Seattle can serve up some of amazing cuisine. This is a town of aromatic cafes, bustling markets, and that supplies some of the freshest produce that you can find. With farms, breweries, distilleries, and wineries blanketing the entire state, this city is a hub for all things delicious. And if you like seafood or Asian-inspired cuisines, then Seattle is a foodie haven for you. Fusion cuisine is second only to fresh seafood. If you would like to learn more about the lifestyle here in Seattle and its surrounding areas, then subscribe to my YouTube channel and follow me on all socials so you don't miss any future videos. Hit the like button if you found this video informative, and you can also click on the boxes on your screen to view my other videos too. Once again, I'm Darius Cincys, your Greater Seattle Realtor Friend. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.